Hi, my name is Antonis and I'm the iconographer in this video. I hope you are well and creative, and today I want to share with you the process of me painting the Holy Face of Christ on a wood panel that I have prepared with rabbit skin glue gesso, and of course I'm using egg tempera. You see that I'm directly drawing on my wood panel, and the face of Christ is a face that I've painted so many times since 1992 that I've started studying iconography. I'm very familiar with the metrics, let's say, of the face, so it's easy for me. And when I'm happy with my drawing, when I feel that I've placed the head of Christ correctly on my wood panel, the composition is right, I'm proceeding with actually painting it. As you see here, I'm using a relatively transparent color, a color that will allow me to see the facial features that I've drawn earlier. And I call this color proplasmos of the flesh, proplasmos for the face of Christ. This color is, as you see, a greenish brownish color, and I don't have a specific recipe, as I say, but mostly I use yellow ochre, cadmium yellow, a little bit of iron oxide red, and some black to create this greenish brownish color, upon which I will paint, as you see now, the facial features and the shadows, and of course later on the lights. For the proplasmos of the hair, I'm using the same color like the proplasmos of the face, but I will add a little bit of iron oxide red. I want a slightly warmer and darker color, and as you see, this is how the head of Christ looks before I'm adding my lights. Now, this is the key. In this video you will see the key moments in painting the Holy Face of Christ, and of course, if you want to see the full video, you can find it on my page on patreon.com. So, as you see here, the proplasmos of the face is very transparent, and to many of you it might seem strange how messy this layer of color looks before adding the lights, as you see me painting now. But it's important to, when we paint, we have to remember that the proplasmos has to have some sort of transparency, and it doesn't matter if it looks messy. We have to be suspicious, let's say, when we paint, and create these layers of color that are transparent enough. So I see many students painting these proplasmos, and they just completely paint flat colors without any transparency in them, and this creates the final result is a little bit flat as well. So here I'm proceeding with painting the shapes of light, and for this I'm using a color that is in this case yellowish as a first layer of light. This color consists of yellow ochre, a little bit of titanium white, and maybe just a little bit of cadmium yellow. Now you have to understand that in the history of iconography, we have many different colors for the first light. Some icons are painted with this yellowish first light. Some other icons are painted with a more pinkish first light, and this can deeply impact the final feeling, the final aesthetic result of the icon. The same goes with painting the proplasmos earlier before. We have completely different aesthetic result when the proplasmos we are using is high in value, it's not very dark, and a different result when the proplosmos is darker. We have excellent examples of in every style, and but it's very helpful for you to understand this concept that the final result of the icon really depends on what kind of colors we will use, and you have to be able to use these color combinations according to what the feeling of the icon you're going to paint is.
Hi, I'm Antonis, and I'm proud to present you my online course in iconography, Paint an Icon with Me. This course will help you become a better iconographer, and it will help you be more confident when talking and presenting your artwork. It will make you understand in depth the studio practices of a professional iconographer like me, and you will get accustomed to what great iconography looks like. So learn in a simple and organized way everything you need about the materials, mediums and techniques in order to make a beautiful icon. Paint with me the icon of Christ and learn how to paint better any icon you wish. I will see you at the studio.
So here I have painted these shapes of light, and I've done this blending with the first light. Let me just say that I spend so much time when I paint the so-called γραψίματα, the darker facial features on the layer of the proplosmos. I spend a lot of time. This step of painting the darker features is a very, very important step in the process of painting a face, and you really should approach this step with caution and spend a lot of time on this. I see again many students who just paint a darker nose, eyes, eyebrows on the proplosmos with a single line, and that's it. No, when we paint the facial features, the darker γραψίματα as we call them, we have to spend some time, do some blending of these facial features with the proplosmos. And this will give to our icons a lot of beauty, and it will raise its artistic value. The same, of course, goes when we paint these shapes of light, and the way we blend those with the proplosmos. We should be very, very careful and understand that this is maybe the most difficult technically step in the process of painting a face, and we should pay a lot of attention, especially before proceeding with painting the second light, as you see me here now painting. The process of blending the first light to the base color of the proplosmos is very, very important, and according to how we'll do this, it will deeply again affect the final result of the icon. Here I'm painting the face of Christ with a Cretan, let's say, approach, with many linear highlights that are that are placed with a lot of caution. And as you see, directly after painting the first light, I will proceed with painting these ψημιθιές, as we call them, these lines. This might seem strange and difficult, and it is a difficult process to make these highlights very convincing and to make these work and really fulfill their purpose, which is to add to give volume to the face, to add some, let's say, volume on and give us some sense of light shadow on the face, and in order for these highlights to work, we have to place them in a masterful way. We have to really understand their purpose. They are very decorative in a way, especially in the Cretan school of iconography. By themselves, they are a sort of calligraphy, let's say, but at the same time they have to do their job, which is to give us a sense of volume on the head. So I place here these highlights with as much care as I can. We have examples of older iconographers and contemporary, which are their hand is almost digital, but this is another story, whether this calligraphy is of true artistic merit. Anyway, so I try to place these highlights very carefully, and then, as you see here, I'm doing a blending, a sort of blending of these highlights with the first layer of light, with the first light that I've previously painted. Now, I hope this makes sense to you and does help you to understand the process of painting a face. It's something that we master with practice. It can't happen easily, but be sure that if you insist and you practice on the highlights, on the psimitheas, you will get a very nice, very beautiful result. Now again, you will find the detailed video on patreon.com, and I want to thank at this point all of you who support me here on YouTube with your beautiful comments, and also I want to thank my Patreon supporters, without which I wouldn't be able to produce these videos and give you some sort of idea of what's happening in my studio, and to help you with your own struggles while learning iconography. So here I'm proceeding with painting the third light, which is highlighting even further the previous highlight. Here again I am very meticulous. I don't want to overdo this. I want to be very, how can I say, very cautious, and as you see directly, we have this sense of volume, this sense of completion of the face, which is so unique in the history of painting. This way of painting face is just unique, and it's sort of amazing how these old iconographers, let's say, evolved the tradition of painting into this style, which is so, allow me saying, bizarre in some way. As I'm painting this, I wonder who, like, when this way of painting a face became so popular and really so beautiful, and it really does work. The reason why these icons are so popular in a way, it's because this way of painting a face help us pray. They serve the purpose of an icon to help the viewer pray and to help the viewer shift their thoughts towards praying and towards the God. I'm sorry for me not making myself very clear. Hopefully the video will make more sense to you than me talking. I hope you will get something useful out of this video, and you will be inspired to proceed with painting yourselves the holy face of Christ here in a way that makes sense to you and will make you better as iconographers. Here you see me painting the eyes of Christ, and here we have to be again very cautious. You see that I'm using a first darker layer in the area of the eye, a darker layer, darker than the proplasmos layer, and upon this I will add a second layer which is light gray, and a third layer, as you see now, which is completely white. Make sure though that this white part of the eye is very discreet, is not something that covers a big area of the eye. This is a common mistake that I see in many students. Along with painting this white moon shape next to the iris, they place this moon shape very much attached on the upper eyelid. It has to be right next to the iris and painted in a very, very discreet way. So now I'm proceeding with painting the hair. And little by little, this study on the face of Christ comes to its completion. You see that not having painted, perfectly as if it was painted from a machine, it works very nicely, and I'm very, very satisfied with the result of this icon. Thank you so much for being here. I again truly hope this inspires you. If you are interested in more, you can check also my course on iconography on teachable.com. Thank you. I will see you soon with another video. Bye.